everyone, and welcome back to Branchspace's Future Picks podcast. I am your host, Clarissa Jenkins. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Dorota Ziajka, product owner at Branchspace, who leads the development of the Triplake On the Go mobile app solution, helping airlines transform their digital retailing strategies and experiences and bringing future-proof satisfaction to travelers. Dorota brings a wealth of experience in airline technology and digital product management, having previously worked at Ryanair as a product owner. During her time there, she played a key role in optimizing Ryanair's digital platforms, enhancing the airline's web and mobile experiences for millions of travelers. At Branchspace for over 2 years, Dorota has been instrumental in launching innovative mobile solutions, including the first Triplake-powered mobile apps for Oman Air and KM Malta, shaping the future of seamless, user-friendly airline apps. Last week, she was on the ground at Mobile World Conference, or MWC, in Barcelona, one of the world's largest technology conferences where AI, mobile innovation, and digital transformation have taken center stage. With insights from the latest advancements in travel tech and mobile experiences, we're excited to dive into today's conversation and hear her key takeaways from MWC Barcelona. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dorota to the podcast and thank you for her time in having this conversation with me.
Hi, Clarissa. Thanks for the welcome. Very happy to be here and share a little bit what I learned at MWC. It was a huge event, so certainly a lot to unpack.
I'm excited. Let's dive right in with the first question. So as I mentioned earlier, you are the product owner here at Branchspace for our Triplake module, Triplake On the Go, which is responsible for our mobile apps. And with that, what were the primary objectives for attending MWC Barcelona 2025?
For me, attending conferences like MWC is very inspiring. In general, gives me a fresh perspective, new ideas, the motivation to bring new solutions into my work. It's always a great opportunity to engage with some industry professionals, explore a little bit different approaches that they may have, exchange ideas about both challenges and opportunities.
Not to mention a chance to visit a new city, especially one as lovely as Barcelona, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And you were there for several days, so you got the opportunity to attend several sessions, some networking events, different types of exhibitions. Were there any sessions or keynote speakers that you found most interesting?
There were quite a few sessions at MWC that provided, so I would say, valuable insights into mobile app development and airline digital retailing, offering both industry-specific takeaways and broader tech innovations that could influence what we do at Branchspace. So definitely the Smart Airport Summit that focused on how airports are optimizing the passenger flow. While it was more infrastructure focused, it presented strongly the growing role of real-time data in shaping airport experiences, an area highly relevant for airline mobile apps that should provide seamless experiences for travelers through the whole journey. Secondly, the session Aviation Challenge organized by Vueling stood out for me as well because it showcased innovative aviation-focused solutions addressing sustainability and customer experience. Last but not least, Samsung and their Mobile Business Summit showcased AI-driven enhancements in mobile user experiences, including predictive UX, AI-powered search, intelligent automations. Seeing how leading tech companies approach AI in mobile ecosystems gave a lot of inspiration for how these concepts could translate into airline apps, particularly in airlines like intelligent trip planning, voice search, real-time assistance.
Wow, that's a lot. It's a lot going on at one event. I am curious, follow-up question for the specializing in an open challenge that Vueling offered to vendors around the globe to help them, invite them to participate in this challenge and send in maybe POCs or proposals that really think outside the box? Or was it more of an in-house think tank collaboration session?
No, definitely. I don't know the details of what happened prior to the conference, but it was rather for external participants, and it was organized by them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, we've seen those in the industry quite a few times, and I think those are really, really powerful because it, like you said, invites outside vendors or organizations to really think outside of the box and challenge the legacy ways of going about things without being constrained to certain requirements, to really like think big, visionary. If anything was possible, what would
Mm.
you want to bring to the table in terms of customer experience and satisfaction?
Mm.
And so, in relation to that previous question about the most interesting sessions, what would you say was the one big idea that you took away from the event?
Mm. I really liked the session with Glovo that they ran about the lessons after 10 years in mobile first business. I
Mm.
think overall it provided great insights into optimizing mobile first experience. They explained a lot about their approach to user engagement, entertainment, personalized content, and operational efficiency. And that resonated strongly with how also airlines can refine their digital retailing strategies to better serve travelers, definitely. So the key takeaway for me was surely that high personalization in the future of mobile commerce.
There weren't just airlines or aviation industry companies there. It sounds like there was a variety of industries attending, as you mentioned, Glovo, which we don't traditionally think as being part of the travel or aviation industry.
Definitely, yes. Lots of different industries and with very wide understanding of what mobile means, I would say. Yeah.
Everyone wants to participate in mobile e-commerce, so why not expand it beyond the industry to draw in ideas that are relatable and cross-functional?
Yeah.
And then earlier you had also mentioned the airport summit. So I'd like to understand what were some of the key themes discussed at the airport summit, and
Mm-hmm.
how do they align with the digital retail transformation of airlines and airport operations?
Yeah, sure. The airport summit focused heavily on connectivity, automation, being the biggest topics. It was very interesting for me to hear also that airports are expected to quadruple in traffic by 2043, if I'm not wrong. So optimizing passenger flow through real-time data and predictive analytics is definitely a key priority now. I believe it was also said that on average it takes now over 40 people being involved to manage a short haul flight. So airports are definitely now leveraging AI, not just for automation, but also for improving resource allocation, security, and energy efficiency. So while the discussed innovation don't directly address airline mobile commerce, the rise of real-time data utilization and predictive analytics can definitely help also enhance digital experiences by overall making travel smoother and more efficient for passengers.
Okay, yeah. So that could maybe be on the mobile app side. An option is like online check-in can really help speed up the airport process and operations. But I am also curious about that infrastructure component
Mm-hmm.
that you brought up. So that is less on the tech side, and as we mentioned, more on the hardware infrastructure. Were there any aspects about that that stood out to you when it comes to the future of the airport experience?
Yeah, definitely. Automation of almost everything that we can possibly imagine in also addressing that smarter resource allocation. So they were presented a lot of innovations in that area of whatever can be optimized and automated at the airport, and also to predict those bigger and more difficult moments at the airports with rising number of passengers traveling, to still ensure that very smooth experience for them.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that those infrastructure needs are also related to sustainability in some ways? We see a rise in sustainability amongst the aviation industry.
Yes, that was definitely one also of the raised topics. That's something what airports are also trying to address now.
Awesome. That's all very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. And then moving along, another major topic that was focused on this year at MWC was AI. So, how do you see AI integration enhancing Triplake on the Go's user experience, perhaps through AI agents or, as you had mentioned, AI trip planning?
Yeah, I personally believe that AI has the potential to completely transform the user experience in the mobile apps overall. Definitely a few key areas that stood out at MWC and would, I think, apply to the airlines was the mentioned AI-powered personalization. So for us, it would mean tailoring search results, offers, notifications based very much on real-time passenger behavior, as well like smart assistants and chatbots that would be improving customer support automation and assisting with trip modifications of any kind. Dynamic pricing and recommendations would be my another point, because I believe AI can optimize really upselling opportunities based on customer preferences. Predictive travel insights as well, so leveraging real-time data that was so much spoken about to provide proactive updates on delays, gate changes, baggage tracking. So Triplake on the Go can leverage AI not just for automation, but for creating that very highly personalized travel experience.
Well, I am all on board, no pun intended, with that. Data has shown that the average traveler spends about 5 hours just researching where they want to travel and planning there before they even book. So an AI trip planner assistant could definitely alleviate some of that time. And then later down the road, allow for more personalized managing of bookings or airport assistance.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, just see as some, so to speak, the robots take over. I saw in a lot of the photos that you took during the event, quite a few displays with robots, both in human form, but also dog form, which I thought was really interesting. So maybe one day we'll see the future of robot pets.
Yeah, I think that's hard to replace, but definitely looking forward to see how it all progresses.
I think I'll stick with my current furry animals instead of metal ones, but you never know.
Yeah.
And then little birdie told me that you had a very interesting conversation with the AppTweak team. So I'd love for you to share some of your insights regarding App Store marketing strategies.
Yeah, sure. Indeed, I had an insightful conversation with AppTweak representative on MWC. We spoke on how apps can improve App Store visibility overall and rating, which also is a very hot topic. We spoke about how we can best optimize searchability using strategic keywords and metadata, improving app graphics and presentations to enhance that engagement of users that we're looking for so much. How also to manage global app ratings, particularly when we can observe that user behavior differs across regions. So as for all companies, there's a lot of opportunity for us to really refine how our apps are positioned and discovered in the stores.
Oh, okay. So they're is a chance that an app could have a really high rating, say in the North American region, but then have a lower rating in, Eastern Asia region. Would you say that certain features can contribute to that, such as forms of payment, if there's not convenient forms of payments for certain regions, or language accessibility?
Absolutely, definitely. All of those points that you said, that's why it's so important for us to not forget about that the ratings and also the app perception can really vary across different regions. And it's very, for us, important as the mobile app provider to very clearly identify what is the reason causing those differences.
And I've noticed when I've used apps, sometimes I'll get a pop-up window prompting me to rate the app for the App Store. Did you have any conversations with the AppTweak team about that particular strategy, if they've noticed that it's effective or less effective in certain scenarios?
We did, definitely. It's one of the strategies that we are currently using. With that, it's very important to do it in a smart way because we do not want to bother the passenger. For us, it's very important to provide that very smooth, unbothered experience from beginning to end. So we need to do it in a very smart way and choose the very right moments in the app when that question, that pop-up is being displayed to the user. So I would say overall it's a very good strategy, but when done on considering all those certain aspects.
Yeah, exactly. That right time, right place is crucial. Sometimes even someone's mood could affect it. Some days I'm in a better mood, so I'm willing to rate the app, and some days I just want to not be bothered with that pop up. But that's a really interesting insight. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's why it's very important to also give you at that moment that very easy way out if you don't want to do it, instead of just making you stay there and adding the difficulty on top of that to just close that pop-up because that may cause the user adding the negative review.
That makes sense. And when we think about the future of mobile apps, how do you envision the future of mobile apps in the airline industry, based on the trends that you observed at MWC?
I think the future of airline mobile apps and not only is a lot about automation and that seamless connectivity that was mentioned so many times for the reason during the whole journey. So what that means, more AI driven services. So from this personalized search and booking to really real time customer support. And certainly stronger airport airline connectivity, so smoother check-in, baggage tracking, disruption management. And I think voice and gesture-based interfaces are also now becoming a real topic, so reducing reliance on traditional screens for interactions. 5G enabled in-flight experiences as well were mentioned many times. So more real-time entertainment for passengers and connectivity even at cruising altitude.
For those who are unaware, could you elaborate on the meaning of traditional screens? What you mean by that?
So just clickable traditional screens. We are getting used to more and more to have that voice control over our mobile device. And at some point, passengers will be also looking for that in their travel mobile apps.
And I'm sure that can also help with accessibility as well for those who require more voice-enabled features.
Definitely, yes. And that's a very important aspect that we're also looking at very much.
Awesome. And overall, it sounds like the future vision spans across the entire customer journey. You didn't just mention, inspiration or booking. You mentioned the entire customer journey, which I think is great. You really want to approach things from a holistic point of view because that's what the customer is thinking about when they're perhaps providing those ratings or those NPS feedback or things like that.
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
Last but definitely not least, can you share your thoughts on the importance of attending industry events like MWC?
Hmm. Mm, Attending industry events is crucial for staying ahead of emerging trends, I would say. So it's not just about seeing new technology. It's about understanding how it applies to our industry and also definitely connecting with the right people while being there. So for me, it's an opportunity to benchmark, to collaborate, definitely get inspired. So overall, we can ensure that the product that we're building today really aligns with where the industry is heading.
And would you say that understanding where the industry is heading and that product feedback, does it span across some of the customers that you interacted with, or airlines that you interacted with, but also some of the vendors like AppTweak that you had conversations with? You can learn from both sides of the coin, so to speak.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, you absorb it from all the places while being there.
Wow, that is just fabulous. Well, that is all the official questions that I have for you today. One last little fun question for you to wrap this up is, if you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Uh, to be honest, now I think I would come back to Barcelona for a few days more because I just had I feel like I had a grasp of the city while being there and focusing on so much on the conference. So like coming back there for even more few days, to like really see the city, go to some museums would be really nice. So definitely gonna do that, maybe somewhere later this year.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'll be looking out for that trip plan in your calendar. And Barcelona, MWC, if anyone's listening, take note. We want to get Dorota back to Barcelona ASAP. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. It was a pleasure of having you on today, Dorota, to share these insights and recap of MWC. And we look forward to having more discussions with you in the future on the Future Picks podcast.
Thanks, Clarissa, for having me. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Ciao.